I've always suffered from competition anxiety, and I suffered from competition anxiety a lot, and so much, I can tell you so much, I felt it that I needed to go to the toilet at least 3 to 5 times before my first match. I was just going from the mat to the toilet, from the mat to the toilet multiple times before going on the mat because I was literally shitting myself for how much anxiety I was feeling. And for a period of time, I even considered about stopping competing altogether because I thought, fuck man, I feel this much anxious before competing. It must be bad for me. I must, there must be something wrong with that. How can you feel so bad before going into a competition? It's stupid. It's weak. I thought there was something really, really wrong and fucked up with me. So much that I stopped competing altogether for a period. I thought I cannot feel like that every time I need to go in competition. It's probably dangerous for me. It's probably something that I don't need to do. And this was something very, very wrong. This was something wrong because when you have a fear towards something and you're avoid it, you're reinforcing your brain to avoid hard stuff. You're reinforcing the response to hardship to run away from that. That's something stupid that I wish I understood sooner. You anxiety is not something bad. It's not an anomaly. It's something absolutely normal in competition. Okay, it's something that you need to actually conquer. It's something that you need to um, be comfortable with. And over time, I understood that without exposing myself to things that make me afraid, to things that make me kind of anxious, it would lead me to living a life that I don't really enjoy. So, despite all of my anxiety, I decided to keep exposing myself to these situations. Even though I felt anxious, even though I felt fear, I kept exposing myself to competitions and over and over again. And I've experienced a lot of failure. I experienced injuries, and despite all of that, despite feeling all that failures, despite feeling all that injuries, I kept competing over the years. I kept exposing myself to that anxiety, and I believe that at 24 years old, finally, I've understood how to actually overcome my anxiety response for competition. Because by exposing myself, by just repetition, putting the reps in, exposing myself to the competition anxiety, my physiological response, I mean my how many times I go shitting myself before going on the mat, my um, my heartbeat went went down. Okay, my also all the storm of thoughts that actually comes with anxiety went down. And I learned over time right now to also appreciate all of that emotions that come with the competition. Because without these emotions, the competition actually feel empty. It's just another day. It's just another thing. But all of these emotions that come with that make it special. And I learned to appreciate it. When I don't feel this kind of anxiety, this kind of energy inside of me, I feel like my life is more emptier. I feel like I feel like my life lacks something beautiful in it, you know. And I passed from being a kid that was very afraid of this. I hope that the competition went as fast as possible so that I can stop feeling that much worried to actually appreciate looking forward to the thing, being excited about it. And I've learned different techniques in the years because I'm a very anxious person by default. Okay, I'm very neurotic by myself, and I learned over time how to actually manage all of my emotion. I learned how to uh, be able to enjoy every moment of the competition because I understood that anxiety is not the enemy. Anxiety is a force, is an energy that allows you to feeling alive, to feeling like you're truly existing on this planet. But I'm not going to be extremely philosophical or spiritual right now. I will just want you to share with you the ways that the methods, the techniques that I use to actually calm myself down. allow myself to enjoy competition much more, and I hope that you can enjoy competition as well. You need to learn how to manage your anxiety, because you will enjoy competitions more. Okay, that's it. That's the most important thing. You are there competing in judo, grappling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whatever that is, because it's fucking fun, because it makes you feel alive. It's not because you're going to win some, I don't know, money from it. You're not doing that for money. You're doing that because it makes you feel alive, because this is important to you. You and if you compete to feel alive, if you compete from an intrinsic motivation, if you have an intrinsic motivation to compete, you will be less attached to the result, and you will do even better. You will have better results if you actually compete with this positive energy, with this positive mindset. And I can tell you that the best competition that I had were the one when I was happier, were the one where I was so relaxed, when I was so happy, so grateful to be there. I competed at my best, even if I lost that competition. By just being relaxed, by just being happy, I've done the best that I possibly could, and I remember this competition with much more joy and yes, nostalgia also. I hope I could leave that competition once again. And by the contrast, I performed at my best when my mind was all over the place, when I wasn't present in that moment. I hope I could go back in time and actually leave that competition in a more relaxed, happier, grateful way. But I want just to convey to you why is it important to be able to manage your anxiety competition, not only for performance, because this is important. Okay, you want to win more, I get it, but it's also because, fuck man, it's your moment. You gotta fucking enjoy it. You know what I mean? You need to enjoy what you're doing in that moment, and this is the most important part. Because you may win, you may lose, but what you're feeling there will be something that you will carry over with you for the rest of your life, and I'm not exaggerating with that. So enjoy that as much as you possibly can. So let's go into detail how I dealt with competition anxiety over the year. So by simply showing up, this is the easiest answer, but the 80% of what you need to do is simply keep going to competition, even if you don't feel like it, even if you shit your pants before going into the mat, just simply show up to the competitions. Because what you will understand over showing up over and over again, you will understand that you're not going to die from competing, okay? You're not going to really injure yourself. Nothing bad will happen after that you show up and compete. People won't laugh at you. You won't make stupid mistakes, because people are watching your match. You're going to lose. They are already forget about you. They don't think about you, okay? Don't think about how you are going to get embarrassed. No one is really thinking about you. No one fucking cares. Everyone is thinking about their own competition. They don't give a shit about you. Trust me, okay? They don't care. They simply don't care. And by showing up, by exposing yourself to that, you will start to understand that. You maybe understand it on a logical level, but by exposing yourself to more and more competition, you will understand that, you will grasp that on a more deeper level. You will understand that no one really cares about what you're doing. You're not really going to die or injure yourself by going into competition. And your physiological response will go down, because it's something well known on a psychological research, which is, in order to reduce anxiety from a certain stimulus, you gotta expose yourself to that stimulus, which is the competition, so that your physiological response becomes lower over time. By physiological response, I mean your heartbeat goes up, your respiratory rate goes up, you are becoming all red in the face. Okay, all of that kind of things, they will go down as you expose yourself over time. So my advice would be, look at all the competition that you have in the calendar, in the season that you're going through right now, and do all of them. All of them. Don't think about the result, don't think about the level of the competition, just expose yourself to as much competitions as possible. This is the 80% way of how you're going through, how you will actually reduce your anxiety competition. Do a competition every 2 weeks. This is the only way to, not the only way, but the most efficient way to reduce anxiety competition overall. The second thing will be preparing enough in your training. And this is something that people don't really think about, but I really enjoyed the John Danaher. If you don't know who John Danaher is, if you're a judoka, he is one of the most famous, if not the most famous coach in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world right now. And he said that confidence doesn't come from shouting affirmations in the mirror, all of this psychological, sports psychology stuff. He told in an interview that sport psychology is a scam area. I don't really believe that, but I get what he's saying, because his point is that anxiety or unconfidence, not being confident before going into competition, doesn't come from affirmations, doesn't come from journaling or breath work or all of this stuff. Confidence into competition comes from the knowledge that you can apply the techniques that you have practiced to another human being. Okay? By practicing a lot, by training as hard as you possibly can, by actually putting the reps in, by doing everything that you can in training to prepare yourself from the competition, you will be much more relaxed. Okay? You will be much more relaxed. If you look at the challenge competence graph that I will put around here somewhere, you feel anxious during a task when you feel much more incompetent than the challenge requires. When you perceive yourself as much more incompetent, you will feel anxiety. If you feel much more confident, if you feel much more competent than the actual challenge, you will feel bored. Okay? So in order to reduce anxiety, you must perceive yourself as more competent in order to reduce anxiety. You can feel yourself as more confident by a technique that I'm not pretty sure it's cognitive reframing, but I will say cognitive reframing, which you can do with 3 columns and a piece of paper, which you can do like that. You grab a piece of paper, give me a second. You grab a piece of paper and you divide that into 3 columns. In the first column, you will write down all of the things that you are afraid will happen in the competition, and be specific about it. What are the things that you're actually afraid of during the competition? I'm afraid that my opponent will grab me in this way that I don't like. Okay, my opponent grabbed me in, let's say, he puts you a collar tie. Okay, Kozeki Shizei grip. He puts you in a high grip. Okay, what can you do to prevent it? Do you have a strategy around it? So what can you do to prevent it? Well, I will block his dominant hand in order to don't allow him to do that to me. Okay, perfect. You have a way to prevent this bad outcome that you don't like to happen. Great. This is what you write in the second column, which is the solution to the problem that you find in the first column. So you find the solution in order to prevent this thing from happening. In the third column, you are going to write, let's say that he grabs you on the neck. He grabs you in this way that you really don't like. What is your solution for that? What is the technique that you're going to apply if your opponent does that to you? Do you have an escape way? Do you have a defense to don't allow your opponent to do that to you? Do you have a way to escape from that? If the answer, if you say, think about it and think, oh yes, I have a way to actually escape from this grip, because I can grab his other lapel, I can push, I can break it down, and whatever, all right? Just a framework. And you do that for every situation that you can think about that can happen to you, and be specific about it. I'm afraid to go against someone who is better than me on the ground game, for example. What you're going to do to prevent it? Well, I will just stand up and be on my feet. Okay, let's say that he tries to, let's say that he tries you to keep you down and let's say doing an osaikomi to you. Do you have a way to escape from this different osaikomi techniques that he does to you? Yeah, if yes, you will start to rewire your brain to feel more confident about it. You will start to rewire your brain to understand that if you happen to end up in this situation that you don't like, you have a way to escape it, or at least you have a way to prevent it from happen. If the answer is, I don't have a way to counteract this problem that might occur, well, just practice it more. Just practice more the stuff that you're afraid to happen to you in the training, so that when it happens in competition, you're not anxious about it. So you are more prepared to what will happen to you on the mat in competition. Be more prepared to what will happen to you on the competition, so that you don't panic when this stuff will actually come. I hope that I explained myself clearly enough. So this technique that I use before my competition in order to, and not only before your competition, okay? Think really about what are the situations that I don't want to end up during a match, during a fight. What are the situations that I really don't want to end up? What is a way to prevent it? And if that situation actually happens, how can I get out of it? So this is a technique that helped me a lot to manage my my anxiety before competition. And a second technique, which is if you are really neurotic, like myself, if you're someone who really feels competition on his skin, there are some breathwork techniques to reduce physiological arousal. What the fuck did I just said? Basically, if you breathe in a specific way, you're going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. What does that mean? We have two systems in our body, a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is activated when you are into competition, when you need to fight or flight as an animal, okay? You need to respond to a threat. And when you're very anxious, your parasympathetic nervous system is really active. Your heart is pumping hard blood into your system. Your respiratory rate is increasing, and you are more prepared to the competition, which is something good. But if you are too much prepared, you might end up being too much anxious and perform at worst and not enjoying what is going on in the moment. So what you can do is switch to more on this parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system, let's say parasympathetic mode, it's more associated with rest, relaxation, and let's say chilling. It's about chilling, okay? And if you breathe in a certain way, you can trick your brain to switch from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. One simple technique that I can teach you is the square breathing technique, which means you're going to inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you exhale in 4 seconds, and you stay with your lungs empty in 4 seconds. I will do that with you so that you can have an idea of what I'm just saying. Inhale with me, 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale. And stay with your lungs empty for 4 seconds. You do that repeatedly over time. First of all, your mind will shift from what is going on on the mat right now to your breathing technique. So you will be much more relaxed. You do that for 2 to 5 minutes, you will feel more relaxed, more present, and less in your head than you are right now. So this helped me a lot to reduce my physiological arousal. And just to make a synthesis, just reframe about what are the worst things that could happen into the competition with the 3-column technique. Use the breathwork technique to reduce the physiological arousal before competition, and just enjoy it. Expose yourself as much as you can. These are the 3 ways that I use to manage my anxiety competition. I hope that this video was useful. If you have more questions, if you have more specific problems that you might need to address for it, I would be happy to help you. Okay, so just write me a comment, DM me. You can book a one-on-one call with me. I will be happy to talk with other judokas about the struggles and see if, with my experience, I've done this shit for 15 plus years, I can help you with something specific. So that's it. Hope the video was useful. Remember to aim upward as always.